What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Chuds BBQ. My name is Bradley Robinson, and today I'm going to show you how I made this beautiful, delicious, smoky, plump, amazing andouille sausage. Coming up, nice new Chud grill thermometer. This is some meat. And what I got here is a couple of chunks of some boneless Boston butt. Perfect for making sausage, nice and fatty, especially this one. A lot of intramuscular fat, and it's got a fat cap on it. Should work out lovely. And as always, I'm just gonna cube this up to make proper sized chunks to fit into the meat grinder. Although I'm tempted to just make a pork steak real quick, because that looks really good. But of course, any cut of meat will work. Andouille is typically a pork sausage, and this is definitely the easiest way to go about it, just kind of relying on the general fat ratio of a pork butt. But if you want it to be real scientific about it, you could just get some lean pork and some pork fat back and dial in a perfect 80-20, 70-30, whatever it is you're looking for. Although this is feeling a little damp. Pat it dry. And just like that, we've got 4 pounds of cubed up pork butt ready to go in the freezer. But because andouille is typically known as a really coarse ground sausage, we're also gonna bust out some pork belly. And simply enough, I'm gonna take some strips off the end here, and then we're gonna cube up this pork belly into whatever size chunks we like. So basically what I'm gonna do is send all that pork butt through the grinder and then have that be studded with these little cubes of pork belly. So we have pork studded with chunks of pork. Should give us a really unique texture, some wonderful flavor, and just be amazing. Beautiful. So this is a 5-pound batch. I'm doing 4 pounds of ground to 1 pound of chunky studdage. Hope that nickname doesn't stick. And we should end up with a beautiful, nice, coarse, yet still plump and tightly bound andouille sausage. And there we have it. 4 pounds of pork butt nice and cubed up, and 1 pound of pork belly diced up, ready to go. So into the freezer this goes to cool down to make sure we get a nice, clean grind. Spices for our andouille include some kosher salt, some pink curing salt, #1, some cayenne, and a lot of people will stop right here, keep it super basic, but I'm gonna take a slightly different approach and basically add my own ingredients to make my own Cajun spice mix, including some black pepper, some celery seed, dry mustard, oregano, some ground thyme, and some paprika. Oh yeah. And just to make sure everything is nice and plump, I'm gonna go in with some milk powder as our binder. Beautiful. And simply enough, through the grinder we go. I'm using the 10mm coarse die today, as I typically do for making sausages. And I'm also gonna send through a bunch of some fresh garlic right at the end. Beautiful. You know the drill from here, folks. We're gonna go in with our spice mix and give that a nice little mixy. Make sure all that garlic is evenly distributed. Make sure all these spices are going where they need to go. Whew, it smells so good. And then we're gonna go in with all of our cubed up pork belly. Make sure that's getting evenly dispersed. And once everything starts getting really tough to work with, we're gonna go in with our liquid, which is of course just some water today. Probably should have thrown a beer in there, maybe some stock, but I think this is gonna be just fine. Now we're gonna mix this up until everything is nice and tacky. And on we go with some standard sized hog casings. I was considering doing the thicker version with some beef middles, but honestly I prefer the normal sized sausage links. So that's what we're going with today. Oh, I'm getting tired. Whew. This is a big boy. How you doing? Tie it off, snip the tip, and now we case away. Just trying to get these nice and plump, folks. You know the drill. You've seen me do this a million times by now. But I am going to make these longer than usual, thinking about that long, just because that's what I feel like doing. But as always, I like to go link by link because I can really control the plumpness of the casing, and if I feel a weak part coming up, I can avoid it. But most importantly, by doing it this way, I can ensure that there's no air pockets in there, so I won't have to go through and prick my sausage afterwards. And when you're doing a small batch like this is a 5-pound batch, you might as well take your time, make sure they're all the exact same length, perfectly cased, give it a nice twisterino, and just do the best you can. Yoink! quick. I'm gonna case these in lengths of 4, just so they can hang up a little bit easier, because they're pretty long. And I have not built a cold smoker yet. Beautiful, go around one more time, make sure they are nice and plump. Give them the old twist and shuffle. And there we go, some nice, big, beautiful wieners. And now we repeat. All right, y'all, and just like that, these beautiful, nice, lengthy, girthy andouilles are done. We got 4 big links and then 1 baby little C-link at the end. I'll hang this up as well. This will be our little tester for probing so we don't mess up any of these behemoths. But what I'm gonna do now is hang these up in my fridge overnight. That's gonna let the cure do its work, let all the spices hydrate, and they're gonna be uncovered, so that's also gonna help dry out the skin, meaning these casings will be nice and snappy. They'll probably change color a little bit. So I'll check back with y'all tomorrow. 24 hours later. These andouilles are looking fantastic. I did pull them out and let a fan blow over them for about an hour earlier just to help those casings dry out even more because they were still looking a little bit wet. And that really helped change the color to this darker tone. But the only problem is when they were hanging, I made them too long or cased them too tight. So 2 of them busted right here because the curve as it tried to straighten out snapped the casing. But the rest of them are fine, so I think we're gonna be A-okay. But now we need to smoke them. And to do that, we're gonna bust out this little guy, the old cold smoker. I've used this thing plenty of times before. We're just gonna fill this contraption up with some sawdust. This is some hickory sawdust. If we just light it right on this side, and it'll burn like a spiral all the way around. And because it's just kind of smoldering, we'll get plenty of smoke, but very little heat, giving us a true cold smoke. And this thing lasts a solid 20 hours. So, into the mini chud box we go. 24 hours later, these sausages are coming off the pit and looking absolutely beautiful, I must say. Clearly we can see the color has changed quite a bit, looking nice and smoky, feeling nice and dry, got a certain amount of stiffness to them, but smelling great, looking great. I gotta say, this is my favorite kind of sausage to make, just because they just seem so much more professional looking and commercially made than any other type of sausage, you know what I mean? Show up to someone's house with a couple of these and say you made them, whew, pretty cool. And I'm sorry I didn't go into too much detail on the smoking process, so if you want to see a little bit more about that cold smoking contraption, you can check out my video all about how to cold smoke sausages or any of my snack stick videos. I go into a lot of detail there. But fact of the matter is, these are fully cured, fully dried, looking great, smelling great, but they are still not cooked. So we need to bring these up to an internal temperature of about 150 degrees. Let's fire up the pit. I don't like the fact that those sausages are long and straight because it reminds me of that pesky little snake in my boot. And on the pit we go. Gonna rock this pit around 250, 275, just trying to bring these up to temp. And again, you don't need to smoke these because they've already been nicely smoked, but this is a barbecue channel after all. But you could easily slice these up, toss them in a pan, throw them in your oven, do whatever you gotta do. But I'm only cooking a few of them right now because I gotta save the rest for making gumbo. So it shouldn't take long, just gonna cook these through, warm them up, get them nice and hot and nice and plump. And just like that, off the pit these come, and I must say, these are definitely some of the snappiest, bounciest, most plump, firm sausages I've made in quite some time. They really have a certain amount of just strength to them. Beautiful stuff, nice and toasty, nice and glistening. Didn't pop a casing. We also got this weird one over here. This is my little temp tester right there, little sacrificial link. So that one got a little wrinkly because as soon as I poked it, it shot out a geyser of fat. So that's why you always want to have a little guy to test. But I think it's time to slice on in and see how these things came out. Shall we start with the old J-hook over here? Beautiful stuff, definitely looking nice and juicy. Got some beautiful studdage in there. Nice coarse texture, you can see it in all these slices. Looking real nice. But of course we gotta get the cross section. Very firm sausage. And there it is, folks. Nice and juicy, beautiful coarse studdage of there, that pork belly. Looks nicely rendered too, I must add. Literally dripping. Oh, I gotta dive in. I mean, what's not to like here, folks? Nice and smoky, nice and plump, little bit of kick, beautiful pork belly studdage. Oh, I'm ready. Well, folks, I think we might as well just kick this off with a snap test, am I right? Oh, so juicy. That is a phenomenal sausage, and I just gotta say, I love how this is just so plump. Gotta love that coarse texture in there from the pork belly too. By the way, those pork belly chunks rendered out really well. Boop, boop, boop. I was worried it'd be kind of like chewing on unrendered pieces of fat, but not the case. Very juicy. And just look at how tight the casing is on that sausage too. It's unbelievable. It's from the drying process and the long cold smoke. Everything really got condensed. Kind of like charcuterie. In fact, if you wanted to, this would be a great sausage to just slice super thin. Ooh, throw that on your pizza, tell you what. 2 bites in and I'm definitely making this again, tell you what. Wow, so flavorful. Look at that big chunk. Flavor-wise, it's perfectly balanced. It's got a little bit of spice from the cayenne, but all in all, it's very pleasant, not overbearing by any means. It's nice and smoky, but not too smoky. Salt level is perfect. Everything is just perfectly balanced. It's just a genuinely very flavorful sausage. The casing is unbelievably snappy. It's almost crispy. I'm telling you, if you've never done a true cold smoke on your sausages, you have to give this a try. It is unbelievable. It's night and day difference from your regular links. If I ever opened up my own barbecue joint, this is what I would sell because it is so good. So good. Oh, I could do this all day, and I probably will. The only thing I would change about this sausage is I would add way more pork belly studdage in there. I would double that. I'd probably go 50-50, if not more. Now that I know that the pork belly just renders down perfectly, I would go way heavier on that because it's a super interesting texture. Very tasty stuff. Ooh. Oh, come on, just look at it, folks. All right, folks, without further ado, I think it's time for the official taste test. All right, y'all, that is it. That is how to make some absolutely fantastic andouille sausage. I highly recommend giving this recipe a try. It's a pretty basic sausage, but it's got some fun, unique techniques in there that really make this sausage completely different, and in my opinion, much better than most of the other sausages I've made on this channel. And I know it takes a long time to make this kind of a sausage with the cure and the cold smoke and the air dry and all that kind of stuff, but once I was done casing, there was no more than 5 minutes at a time put in of active work, and I highly recommend giving it a try very soon. But all that being said, if you enjoyed this video, let me know by hitting that subscribe button. Let YouTube know by dropping a like on this video. If you give this recipe a try for yourself, be sure to tag me on Instagram at Chuds BBQ. I love to see what y'all are cooking. Big shout out to all the Patreon members. Thank you for supporting Team Chud and allowing me to keep making all these videos. And until the next time I see you, please go cook something outside. Peace!